This is our first day in the central French Pyrenees, and it's a wonderful area. It seems to be undiscovered. The wildlife is incredible, and the insects and the butterflies and the birds, and it's just such lovely scenery. It's so green and lush and very mountainous. And we're just setting off on our first day's walk. Now, we're staying in a tiny village called Suiche, which is near to Asper, and we're just starting to explore the area. Weather's gorgeous, as you can see, and let's see what we can find and look at and discover. We've driven near to Pyrenees de Luchon, or Luchon, and we're going to walk up towards Lac O, which is spelled L-A-C double O, and see what it's like. It's supposed to be very scenic, and there are lots of lakes and there are glaciers and very high mountains surrounding it. We've come up here because it was so hot yesterday, and it's certainly nice and fresh up here today, although it is still warm with the sun out.
Let's go to a place that will be bursting with life. I'll be twinkle toes and you a shining St. George nobility.
Well, we're at Lac d'Eau here, and this is it's obviously a dammed lake, but we're going to try and walk up to the next one, just try and find a path onwards. I can't see it anywhere. I think it's probably up this side, but I'm just going to get the map out.
We'll set a fine table as we dine on a famous mud pie in a fort set on a rock just built for two, but with room for some friends. And we'll laugh all the day until we defeat the dark. We will climb on the backs of all the stones rolled before us. I'll give you a feather for your feather collection. You'll use it to fly to your castle in the sky. And oh, my son, I'll be faithful and true to you, faithful and true, because all our lives He's been faithful and true to us, faithful and true.
We've made it up to the second lake, and there's a hut here as well for staying overnight. Then the paths go on up to another lake. There's one here, and then it starts to hit the snow, and you can see a path going up there. I'm just trying to follow it, but it's very windy, so I'll have to lie down to hold the binoculars because I can't hold it still.
I'll give my funny dance that will bring healing somehow. And you're always joy, you fight the dragon.
Just walking to the top of the river that's with the big waterfall down into the bottom lake, Lac d'Eau. This is the top of it where it goes through a narrow gorge, and it's a very noisy river. It's full of, I suppose, snow and ice melt at the moment.
And we'll laugh all the day until we defeat the dark. We will climb on the backs of all the stones rolled before us. I'll give you a feather for your feather collection. You'll use it to fly to your castle in the sky. And when the storms start to roll, we will hold out our hands. Oh, the thunder will listen.
It's a bit frightening. This is the top of that gorge. There's a heck of a lot of water going down it. It's just like waterfall after waterfall.
Ooh.
Yesterday's extremely hot day, we've decided to go up high, and we're on the top of the Col de Mente, and we're going to head up footpath towards Mount Cagia, which is the very high mountain you can see from the cottage in Suisse. And the cyclists are coming and going all the time off here. It's one of the classic climbs, and it must be extremely hard because we've gone up numerous hairpins. On the final ridge walk to the summit of the Cagia, and behind you is the River Garonne, the big valley that runs up towards the Spanish border. You can see all the hills there, which I imagine the Spanish border is somewhere. Well, it's clouded up a bit and we've made it to the summit of the Cagia, and we're standing by a round disc that spins, and it's called the Tourne Étoile du Cagia, and we're at 1912 metres. Today we're doing Route 30, which is a fairly hard ride, I think, from a village called, if I can get the leaflet the right way up, Isao de l'Hôtel. We're starting here in the village and we're following the black route all the way round, and it's, I tell you, it's 30 kilometres and it has a 750 metre ascent, and it's supposed to take 4 hours to take us all day. That's the Cagia where we were a few days ago on the summit, the day it went a little bit cloudy, and where the sheepdogs were, the Pyrenees mountain dogs.
The steepness of the hills round here force you to cycle at a snail's pace.
We've just been watching an emerald green beetle flying around here, quite a large one. Here he is now, just going round the head. Seems almost out of control, little wings and a great big body. There he is. Two of them, I think.
do you think the temperature is?
We're into the low 30s. Not sure, 31, 32.
That was an epic push up through the woods. At least an hour uphill. It's not cyclable, you can only push due to the rocks. And you can see Cagia Mountain behind us, where we were up the other day. We're nearly up there now.
Yeah. Today we're on the French-Spanish border, Pyrenees June, and we're going to walk a little way along the ridge. It's extremely hot, so don't know how far we'll get, but we're hoping we'll get good views in a minute over to the main mountain range.
Where do you think the ridge is?
Well, I think it's that way, and it also goes that way, but I think we're going that way, but I have to wait till we get to the top and I get the map out. Isn't it noisy? We're reaching the top of the col now, and the main Pyrenean range is coming into the view, and one of these I think should be the highest peak in the Pyrenees, called an Eto. I'm going to get my app out and take a photograph of the horizon of the mountain range and see which one it shows up to be an Eto. I wonder if it's that one there with all the ice on it, or whether it's one of those at the back there. That looks pretty high. Very easy walking on the side of the slope, no path, but we're nearly on the ridge now. Go find a tree, get under it. Another lunch stop with a view, and a lot of ants as well crawling about.
What have we had to do?
Move ships, we've moved trees in other words, because we couldn't find anywhere flat enough to lie down properly in the shade. But this tree's better really, you've got a brilliant view of all the high mountains in the Pyrenees. This is a boundary stone, so I've got 1 foot in Spain and 1 foot in France. It's they're all along here, along this ridge, so we're just walking along the boundary between the two countries now. We're on one of these trig points that marks the boundary. This is Spain on this side. It sort of comes out in a spur towards France, because this is the French bit here. Everything's in French, everything's in Spanish on this side, and so we're just here by this peak here, somewhere on the ridge just about there, and there's some writing on the side of this trig point. Got 4 vultures circling above us, and 1 or 2 of them have come really low over us, and the shadow's been like a glider across the ground. They're amazing really, absolutely beautiful things to look at. Well, we've parked in a little village called Castellon-en-Couseran, which is not far from Saint-Geron, and we're cycling up the valley here, and we've just reached this village here, Les Bourgs-sur-Lez, and we're at this junction deciding which way to go. She did mention the Lac de Bethamel here, but we're at the moment turning down this valley here, which heads up and heads right up into to there, which is quite a long way up. So we're just sort of exploring today, a bit more in the high Pyrenees, and it's beautiful scenery again. We've reached the end of the road now, and we're here. Maison du Valle, Pla de la Lo is marked on the map, and it's a end of valley parking area for lots of walks to high passes and peaks all around here. Very tempting to come back and do a walk up to one of the passes one day to see if there's a good view from the top. Looks like there's a bit of a glacier possibly even up there. And we're about, I'd say, 3 miles as the crow flies from the Spanish border, which would be over that way and over the top of the high peaks. And we're parked right at the top of the road out of Herat here, and we're going to walk up to the Pic de Palomer, which is 1608 metres. Where we're going, the Pic de Palomer. We're just going around a corner now, and I have a feeling there might be a really good view of the snowy Pyrenees ahead of us. It's a cacophony of animal bells. We can hear a herd of cows down here. And over the col up here it sounds like another herd of sheep or cows. They're like church bells. We've got here, we're on the summit to the Pic de Palomer at 1,600 metres.